Catus, Maximus here, this time with a review of an older True Value Master Mechanic, US made. This is the T1260 3/8" round head ratchet. Just because I've admitted that round head ratchets probably they're not the longest lasting compared to pair heads, I still like collecting them. There always seems to be a different design, and there are just so many of them. It's unbelievable. This one's actually, as far as the body is concerned, you can see not the most consistent grinding around the head, but it is nice and thick. Not the most symmetrical there. It does have a thumb wheel, but interestingly enough, it's on the bottom. Also, those clicks. Sounds like a twin pawl. That is a cast zinc reverse knob, but it's actually not bad. You can grip it pretty good, and it's pretty thick. Pretty good beam, and knurled handle, which I like. Not a lot else going on, but it seems that a lot of the older Master Mechanic tools were indeed American made. The ball detent has good extension. A pretty weak string, but nonetheless it works just fine. This ratchet seems to work okay. There's a couple little odd slippings in reverse, or in reverse. There you go, you can hear it clicking a couple times there. Round heads do slip a lot. What I find interesting is I think this may be made by Indestro or some company like that, maybe SK. Not entirely sure, but you can see that it uses a little circlip under there. That is a surprisingly unique way to get a ratchet like this held together, but admittedly, pretty easy to maintenance. Maybe we can get that slipping to stop if we just lube this up a little bit. What do we see there? It is indeed a twin pawl. If we look pretty close, the pawls themselves, there is a little bit of rounding over the tip. So this ratchet has definitely seen some work, that's for sure. But do like seeing the twin pawl design. The reason I like twin pawls is you can see that there's a pin holding the pawl. That pin is a lot smaller diameter than the square, and so it ends up being an inherent weakness in a lot of round heads that use this SK swing pawl design. So if you have two pawls, it's nicer because you simply have twice as much strength. Easiest to say. I don't know if both of these pins are as strong as the square, but it certainly makes it a stronger ratchet and a little bit more reliable as it wears, just because you do indeed have two pawls going at it. There's the body. We'll get that cleaned out. Those don't look too bad, but these need to be surprisingly sharp to really grip reliably. And setting this down, the cap actually fell off, and I wasn't expecting that. Just about every single ratchet that's a swing pawl, the whole reverse knob and the little post that goes down is all one piece. This is one of the rare ones that is a swing pawl design, but actually has a two-piece situation here. I think that's kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but it makes the rebuilding even easier because you can just wrench out these pins. Now you can see the size of those pins. Those things are tiny compared to the size of this anvil. You would easily shear off that pin. Well, you know, so this really needed two, and even both of those pins, I'm sure if you run this ratchet with a cheater bar until it broke, you'd find that the square is just fine. You would have just sheared off both those pins. Anyway, I'm going to get this a little bit cleaned up. Voila, got that all back together. Let's see how this works now. Certainly sounds a lot better with some fresh lube in there and getting a little bit cleaned up. As far as tightening, absolutely great. Really like the switch design. Even though it's like a standard one, it's really pretty robust. Nice detent in there. So definitely a bit worn. Nothing you can do. And that's kind of the issue with round head ratchets. You can hear it skip every once in a while. And it's just way too much of a hassle to attempt to repair that. We know this ratchet's definitely seen some use, but probably one, you know, it's old. That's the reason it was donated. And two, probably had some time. And we can see it's just on one side of the teeth because I'm tightening, which is a little bit odd. Not as bad as loosening. So this ratchet's near the end of its life. Anyway, still wanted to document it. Thought it's a pretty neat ratchet. But whenever you find used ratchets, and especially round heads, you want to try to find a socket or something that we can put a little bit of force on it. Just to see if it's something like this, where it's at the end of its life, or if it's has plenty of life left into it. Otherwise, I think this is not a bad design. Not the strongest, not with those tiny little pins that they have, but overall, pretty solid ratchet. Although they should have made the teeth a little bit coarser and thicker, so it would have lasted a little bit longer. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out. Oop, a quick note before I even check. Part of the reason this one's so bad is that the anvil wobble will have caused a bunch of uneven wear on the teeth of the body of the ratchet, making it end up slipping just a bit sooner because it's concentrating force on one side and then the other side as you're rocking it around. It's one of the other biggest issues. If they had only tried to make round head ratchets have better tolerances, they would have lasted a lot longer.